Welcome to the latest edition of TML's Market Wrap. Firstly, I'm very excited to be joined by a very special guest today to share some insights around their personal career journey, as well as some of the most daring and creative marketing initiatives across B2B. With 2024 now well underway, we've continued to see a steady pickup in activity across the board as companies begin the year with a renewed confidence that the recession is now peaked and is behind us. There has been a roughly 20% uplift in new roles coming to market over the first 2 months of the year, and we're hearing this sentiment echo through conversations in the market as well. Notably, sectors that had a quiet 2023, such as real estate, are seeing a real boon in hiring across leadership appointments in Q1 this year, which again is a really positive sign of intent for things to come. Coming into a busy period for job seekers, April and May traditionally being the busiest time of year for individuals to explore a move, we have a sense that we're now definitely seeing an upwards trend in momentum. Both here in the UK and overseas in territories such as New York, we're sensing that more candidates are open to a move than we've seen for the past 18 months. What has been interesting to see is that contrary to my prediction last year, interim appointments have shown no signs of slowing down. When many firms have struggled to fill leadership roles, leaders are turning to tried and tested consultants to plug a gap, either during a period of transition or to solve an element of uncertainty. This is particularly apparent in areas such as professional services, where often firms are bringing in a known interim through their network rather than completing a search or starting one in the first instance. Similarly, we're seeing a real upturn in leadership appointments across listed businesses, moving away from the private markets dominating marketing investment over the past 2 years. My colleague and our new commercial director here at TML Partners, Tom Morgan-Harris, is currently working with 2 FTSE businesses on brand, marketing and reputation-led appointments as they head into the next phase of their respective growth journeys. What's been interesting to analyse is the definitive need in these briefs for corporate affairs and listed company experience, and particularly relevant for anyone who is aspirationally targeting a FTSE 100 CMO or director opportunity at a group level. Internationally, Germany continues to be the biggest hive of activity for marketing hiring, with companies significantly scaling resource and new headcount across a range of sectors, notably financial services, law, tech, as you'd probably expect within the B2B ecosystem. What we're finding is a very tight talent pool and far fewer people are open to a move than across other European markets. Couple that with the distinct regionalisation of local markets within Germany, and we're finding that companies employing a search-based approach to hiring are generating the most success in filling roles swiftly and efficiently. We've seen firms successfully hire from the open market, but processes can become convoluted and we're seeing many counter offers. Even candidates that are being particularly choosy around making a move, sometimes rejecting offers at the end of a process if it's not 100% what they're after. And again, this is where a search partner can be invaluable in helping organisations navigating these sorts of scenarios. Lastly, on salaries, we're still seeing an average uplift for an external move at the start of 2024 around the 20% mark and up, compared to much smaller numbers individuals are seeing in pay reviews as we come towards that time of year, and bonuses aren't necessarily expected to be at their 2022 peaks. As such, it's still increasingly attractive to explore opportunities for those motivated by compensation, and for prospective employers, something to be aware of when factoring in an attractive offer and uplift in candidate salary. Make sure to follow us here at TML Partners for the latest opportunities and insights, and make sure to leave a comment if there's anything you'd like us to cover in the next update. And now I'd love to hand you over to the brilliant Emma Windsor, Head of Marketing at management consulting firm Elixirr, to talk through some of her own career highlights and how to be bold when it comes to B2B.
I'm Emma, I'm Head of Marketing. I've been in marketing for about 10 years. I'm currently Head of Marketing for a global consulting firm, and I'm also host of a marketing podcast called Marketing Nuggets, which is for ambitious junior marketers who are looking to boss their careers. So I actually went over to America. I was studying business at university and I didn't know what to do. I did lots of business modules and I gravitated towards the marketing and management ones. I felt like there was so many skills that could be used there, and I felt like I wasn't putting myself into one lane, and so I really loved the variation. So it was kind of a good place for me to start my career when I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. So I couldn't pick one, there's a couple that come to mind. So first is having a super organized marketing plan at the center is fundamental, but being ready to be reactive and pivot also goes hand in hand with that. Also, to not do all of the small things and get caught up in those, do the big things really well. And finally, just because your competitors aren't doing it doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it. So probably easier than most marketers, because funnily enough, even though I went from a protein bar consumer-based business to a B2B global consulting firm, actually there was a lot of similarities within the brand ethos. They were both started by entrepreneurial founders, and so a lot of the brand correlated from doing things differently to having that challenger mindset. And so whilst I'm not necessarily doing all of the same tactics, I use the same learnings a grenade in my B2B career. So a couple of the biggest wins at Elixirr have definitely been the first campaign that I did there, got nominated for a Drum Award for the best B2B campaign alongside some powerhouse brands. And I also just think creating a strategy where marketing is now a lead and revenue generating function, really showing like the importance of a really great marketing team. I think that they need to stop worrying and thinking that they need to do the classic B2B channels. Like, you don't have to do white papers, webinars, and networking necessarily. There's no marketing channel that is off limits if it works for your audience. Try and bring some of the learnings from B2C in terms of things like humor and emotion to connect with your audience, and don't just think that you have to do logical marketing. There's no rules. They're not set for B2C and B2B, and just tear up that rule book. I think that the brand in B2B is played down a little bit more than B2C, but actually the logic is still the same. So I didn't come over to B2B and go, yay, I don't need to worry about brand anymore. Actually, it's throughout the heart of every marketing tactic that we do. It's having that thought to go, we don't necessarily need to think logic, but really think about how you can capture the hearts and minds. Whoever your audience is, at the end of the day, you need to get them to care, and that's through your brand, not just your marketing tactics. So in all of my marketing roles, there's actually never been in a business where they've had a CMO, and very rarely a head of marketing. So when I was junior in my career, there was really nobody to help me with those big career moves, but also the small things that you don't necessarily know until you've done them. And so when I became a manager, I was teaching my team the things that I'd learned along the way, and I really saw them grow and flourish. And I thought, I want to share this with more junior marketers, and I'm not a writer, and so the podcast was born.